Hello everybody, my name is Davis. Welcome back to the video, and today we're here for your 10-minute weather reports. Let's go and get right into it. Starting off with the SPC outlook for today, we have a marginal risk of severe weather that extends all across the deep south, all the way from Texas, all the way up into Virginia. So let's go and break down the threats that this brings. Now, starting off with the tornado threat for today, it is very low but could get upgraded at some point. The damaging wind threat, we have a 5% risk of damaging winds, which is what's driving our marginal risk of severe weather for today. So if you're anywhere in this brown region, you have a 5% chance to see wind gusts of 60 miles an hour or higher, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And then for the hail threat for today, it is currently very low, but once again could get upgraded. So moving into tomorrow, we have another marginal risk of severe weather in a similar area, but not including Texas or the southern bits of Virginia. So let's go and break down the threats for tomorrow, starting off with the tornado threat, very low, but it could get upgraded. The damaging wind threat, we have a 5% risk of damaging winds, which is what's driving our marginal risk of severe weather. So tomorrow, if you're in this brown region, you have a 5% chance to see wind gusts of 60 miles an hour or higher. And then the hail threat for tomorrow is low, but once again could get upgraded at some point. Now, going into Tuesday, we have two marginal risks of severe weather. One is up here in the northwest with Montana, northeastern Oregon, northern Idaho, and eastern Washington. And then we have a marginal risk down here in Florida because we have a hurricane coming. So we're going to break that down in this video. So let's go and move on to the National Hurricane Center. We have Tropical Storm Idalia, which is actually going to soon become a hurricane. It's going to become a Category 1 hurricane and then graze parts of Florida, and then turn into a tropical storm and hit parts of Georgia, South Carolina, even all the way up into North Carolina. So definitely be on the lookout here, especially for western Florida and the panhandle of Florida, because Tropical Storm Idalia, soon to be Hurricane Idalia, is no joke. This will cause some serious flash flooding, some severe storms, potentially even a few tornadoes, who knows. Then we have Hurricane Franklin here. It is now officially a hurricane with 100-mile-per-hour winds. That makes it a Category 2 hurricane, I believe, either Category 1 or Category 2. But this is set to actually go up northeast and then hit Greenland by the end of the month. But it's a little too far out to talk about that, so more on that tomorrow. But this is a very dangerous hurricane out here. And then we have this disturbance that is no longer likely to form, so we don't need to worry about that. Moving on to the Eastern Pacific, we have Tropical Storm Irwin here, which I do not actually know the track of. Okay, so it looks like it's about to go out west, and then potentially, now I don't think it's going to make landfall because as you can see here, there, I switched to the 7-day outlook, but anyway, as you can see, it's going to move out west and then become a tropical depression by Friday, so it's probably not going to hit Hawaii, luckily. So let's go and move on to the Central Pacific here. And that is where we do have Tropical Storm Irwin, but once again, it's probably most likely not going to make landfall, so we don't need to worry about that. The main concern for today is, did this seriously just get upgraded? I think there was a new update. Wait, what? Oh, no. Wait, nothing else changed. Huh? Okay, well, this is here now, apparently. This has a 20% chance to form the next 7 days. I thought it updated while I was making my video. I was like, what? But anyway, the main threats that we need to worry about are Tropical Storm Idalia and Hurricane Franklin. But moving on to the excessive rainfall outlook. Today, we have two slight risks of excessive rainfall. It's a 15% chance. In the yellow here, we have Raleigh, Greensboro, Charlotte, Greenville, and Columbia in North and South Carolina under a slight risk of flash flooding today, so look out in those cities. And then over here, we have one in western Tennessee, western Kentucky, southern Illinois, and then southeastern Missouri. We have Nashville in this. No other major cities, luckily. We do have Jackson, Tennessee, which is pretty big, Clarksville, and Murfreesboro, so look out in that area. If you're in the yellow, you have a 15% chance to see flash flooding today. Now, moving on to tomorrow, we have another slight risk of flash flooding that extends all the way out into eastern Alabama, up into the Carolinas, as well as Tennessee. This includes Atlanta, Greenville, Charlotte, Greensboro, and even Knoxville, or at least southern portions of Knoxville. So look out in this yellow region for some flash flooding tomorrow. Now, moving on to Tuesday here, we have another slight risk of flash flooding, and this is because of our hurricane that's coming. This is going to bring some flash flooding, especially to Tampa and Tallahassee here. It's a 15% risk of flash flooding on Tuesday if you're in those areas. This also includes Gainesville and then St. St. Petersburg, Cape Coral, Valdosta, Albany, Dothan rather, and then that's about it for the slight risk. So then moving into Wednesday, we have another slight risk of flash flooding. It doesn't stop. This is once again because of a hurricane. It's going to move up to the north and the east, hit the Carolinas and Georgia. So definitely be on the lookout for that on Wednesday. And then moving into Thursday, we're not done. We have a slight risk every day for the next 5 days at least. We have a slight risk of flash flooding down here once again in the Carolinas. The biggest cities in this region are going to be Jacksonville, Greenville, Fayetteville, Wilmington, and Mount Pleasant, North Charleston, and Charleston. So look out for that. We have a big risk of flash flooding pretty much every day for the next 5 days, or a slight risk rather, which is a pretty decent sized risk, but yeah. Now moving on to the Climate Prediction Center, at the time of filming, they have not released their new update for today, so this is yesterday's information, but from September 1st to September 5th, you can be expecting above average temperatures pretty much across the entire country, unless you're here in the Northeast a little bit. The heat is not stopping anytime soon. It's cooled down a little bit, but it's going to pick right back up. This is just a false fall, and then we're going to see extremely above average temperatures here down in New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Kansas, southeastern Colorado, southeastern Nebraska, Iowa, southern Minnesota, southwestern Wisconsin, and yeah, a lot of other states here in this pink area. It's gonna be hot. It's not cooling down anytime soon either, unfortunately. Dark red still gonna be fairly hot, so look out for that. Orange is still gonna be fairly hot, so look out for that. This tannish color could be above average, so look out for that. Now moving on to the day 6 to 10 precipitation outlook. This is once again September 1st to September 5th. Unfortunately, the drought continues, especially in areas like southeastern New Mexico, northern Texas, Oklahoma, eastern Kansas, and western Missouri. So look out, you're going to be seeing below average precipitation that will lead to a pretty big drought, since it's also going to be very hot in this region. It's just been miserable for the past few weeks like this, man. It's ridiculous. Moving on to the day 8 to 14 outlooks, that would be September 3rd to September 9th. We have, the heat dome's not stopping. If anything, it expands. Unless you're here in northern California, southwestern Oregon, northern Washington, northern Idaho, or northwestern Montana, you are most likely going to be seeing above average temperatures from the 3rd to the 9th. And extremely above average temperatures here in north central Texas, central Oklahoma, and southern Kansas. It's ridiculous, and it's not stopping anytime soon. This is all the way out into 2 weeks, 2 more weeks at least. We're going to be seeing this excessive heat warnings, heat advisories, excessive heat watches, all that good stuff, or bad stuff rather. It's just going to continue, and then even the below average precipitation is going to continue for most of the country. So yeah, major drought still going on. We do have some above average precipitation here in the Northwest, but it's not going to be quite as hot up there, so they don't need to worry about a drought anyway. It's getting ridiculous, man. It sucks. Moving on to watches, warnings, and advisories across the country right now. We do have excessive heat warnings down here for East Texas, Louisiana, southwestern Mississippi, southwestern Arkansas, so look out there. This more pinkish color here is going to be your red flag warnings. That means that there's a decent chance of a fire getting started in that region, so definitely look out for that. In central western Mississippi, and then southeastern Mississippi, kind of, southeastern Arkansas as well. The oranges are heat advisories. Gonna be very hot down here in the south today. We got more excessive heat warnings over here. Yeah, these are excessive heat warnings. I'm pretty sure. I don't think that's a red flag warning. Yep, excessive heat warnings here in the desert southwest. It's hot, man. It's really hot. So yeah, look out for that across the country right now. We do have some flash flood warnings in effect. We're seeing a lot of rain today. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.